Morning students, myself Bina Tripathi, welcome to your online class. Students, today I am going to explain you in Geography chapter 10 Human Settlements. Try this, look at the following picture, find suitable locations for human settlements and show them in the picture. See students, it is activity based, that means given that for teacher discuss the students assumptions and conclusions as also the question on the picture given below. So we will discuss that. See students, figure 10.1 show settlements at suitable locations. Why were the settlements shown at the specific place? Why should they be located there? Why can't they be located in other place? See students, you see the picture. Settlements A is located at a place which has direct access to main road as well as railway line. See that, main road as well as railway line. You can see the picture. That means you have to observe that, and which will help in easy movement of passengers as well as goods transport. Why students? Because why? Because a place which has direct access to main road as well as railway line, and that will help in easy movement of passengers as well as goods transport. And see students, settlement B is located on plain land. Its location near a water body, and that also very benefit for us. That means, you know what students, what is very important for agriculture purpose, for agricultural activity. And this way settlements B is located on plain land. Its location near a water body will be beneficial for agricultural purpose. And third one question is that students, a large portion of the area shown in the picture is a region of uneven topography which is not favorable for human settlements. Okay, that means you have to observe this picture. Next, can you tell? See student, picture 10.2a. That means you have to observe that. So what do you see? That it is a picture of the, we can say that, rural settlements. Okay, next one, figure 10.2b. it is a picture of, that means, city. And 10.2c, it is a tribal hamlets. And 10.2d, figure D, it is a town. Okay students, so this way there are four pictures are shown here: 10.2a, b, c and d. Okay, observe the pictures given in figures 10.2a, b, c, d. Think and answer the following questions. See students, there are several questions are there, so let's go through. What all can you see in the picture? So see student, what you can see in the picture, that means you can see human settlements, that is houses, people, birds, hills, river, farm, trees, means of transportation, etc. we can see in the picture. Next one, what are the familiar features students? That means all features shown in pictures are familiar features. That means all we can see the, in all, so we can see the all pictures show some types of human settlements. Next one, which pictures show sparse settlement? Sparse means what? Limited, scanty. So see student, that is we can say that A and C pictures show sparse settlements. Next one, which pictures show agriculture? That means which pictures show agriculture. And so see students, we can say that rural settlements show agriculture. Next one, which pictures show dense settlements? That means picture B show dense settlements. And next one is, which pictures show high-rise building? Student, that means picture B show high-rise building, that is city. From the following, assign a suitable names of each of the pictures: rural settlements, tribal hamlet, town, city. So see that students, rural settlements is A, and B1 is city, C1 is tribal hamlets, and D1 is town. Arrange the pictures according to the level of developments in the settlements. So we have to arrange that. That means first it will come the city, that is B1. Second, D means town. Third one is A means rural settlements, and fourth one is C means that is tribal hamlets. Okay, so this way you have to arrange the picture according to the level of developments in the settlements. Geographical explanation: Human settlements flourish at place with favorable geographical conditions. That means, students, which place human settlements are, that will increase, we can say that human settlements flourish at place with favorable geographical conditions such as availability of water, conducive climate, fertile land, etc. That means climate should be favorable, geographical condition favorable, climate should be there, and that place water facility will be there, conducive climate and fertile land. All these are very important, and if all this will be there, then only human settlement flourish at place. Okay. In the early settlement, the occupations of the peoples were dependent on the locally available natural resources, and this gave rise of separate settlements of people engaged in a particular occupation. For example, peoples along the sea coast are engaged in fishing. The settlements become fishing hamlets, that is Kolivada. Let me see, student. That means in the early settlements, the occupation of the peoples were dependent on the locally available natural resources, and because of that, this gave rise of separate settlements of people engaged in a particular location. Suppose people are living near the sea coast, they are doing the fishing occupation, so this way they selected their occupations. And suppose forest dwellers or tribal peoples are there, they use forest produce of their livelihoods, and they live in the forest areas in tribal hamlets, that is Adivasi Pada. Agriculture is practiced in fertile areas. Suppose land is fertile, area is fertile, people will do the agriculture activities. Farmers' families build their houses in or near their fields. And see, students, who are the farmers are there, they can build their houses near, that means that place only, near their fields. These settlements gradually grow bigger, and this way these settlements gradually grow bigger. The settlements where the original occupation of the majority peoples are based on natural resources are called rural settlements. See, student, that means the settlements where the original occupations of the majority peoples are based on natural resources, that occupation we can say that it is or called the rural settlements. Agriculture, fishery, etc. are some of these occupations. And see, students, agriculture, fishery, etc. are some of these occupations. Okay. The passage of time, other associate occupation also develop gradually in these rural settlements. As a result, people from surrounding areas migrate and settle there, and they started to migrate and settle there, leading to an increase in the rural population. Houses are built and different facilities are developed for the growing population. And see, students, houses are built and different facilities also developed for what purpose? For the growing population. Importance of secondary and tertiary occupation increases. The proportion of people engaged in primary occupation declines, and this is what happened, that importance of secondary and tertiary occupation are started to increase, and the proportion of people engaged in primary occupation started to decline, means decrease. This process leads to transformation of rural settlements into urban settlement, and this is what happened, that this process leads to the transformation of rural settlement into urban. It was transformed due to the religious, historical, commercial, educational and administrative reason, and also due to tourism. The original settlements may transform into an urban one. And see, students, due to religious, historical, commercial, educational and administrative reasons, and also due to tourism, what happened, that the original settlements may transfer into a urban one. If the population and the necessary amenities increase on a large scale, the urban areas grow into metropolitan cities. And see, so that means you see that in the urban areas, population was started to increase in day by day, and this way population and the necessary amenities increase on a large scale, and the urban areas grow into students metropolitan cities. Okay. 10.3, a type of settlement. See, students, you can observe that clear proper way. A place, see that so many houses are there. B place, houses are there but in a linear line, can you see that? And C place, see that only one or two houses are there, can you see that clearly? Okay, that means very less populations are there, C place. So you have to observe that, and after that you can give the answer of this question. Observe figure 10.3 and discuss the following questions. What is the difference between the human settlements at A and B? See picture, students, A and B, what are difference are there? That means A is nucleated settlements and B is a linear settlement. See the picture, because it is a B place, houses are built in line wise, that's why we can say the linear. Okay, it is a linear settlements. Next one, what is the difference between the settlements at B and C? And see, so B and C, what are difference are there? In B is a linear settlements and C is a type of tribal hamlets, because that place very sparse population, means very limited. Okay, And next one is, where do you find less than two houses, students? So less than two houses we can find where? In the C place, that is tribal hamlets having less than two houses. See the picture in your textbook. Figure 10.3, type of settlement. C place, that means tribal hamlets having less than two houses. Okay. In what type of settlements do you live? So student, it is a that you have to decide that what type of settlements do you live. That means, so we can stay A type of settlements. Okay students, which settlement we can select? That we will stay at A type of settlements. Okay. Let's make friends with maps. See the index. Settlements, roads, railway, contour, river, different types of sign and symbols are shown on that place. Observe figure 10.4. You have to observe that and answer the following question. Name some of the settlements shown in the map. So see students, you have to name that. So many names are there. For example, Amalipada and Dumda. We can say that Pokhran, Rani Amba, so Chapawadi. There are so many names are there. Okay. So are some of the settlements shown in the map. Can see the picture. Okay. And which of the settlements in the map are in a scattered, that means scattered forms, students? See that Pokhran. Can you see the picture? Pokhran and Achalawa, Champawadi and Sadakua. That means these are the have the scattered settlements. See the picture. It is scattered settlements. See the picture. And next one is, how are the houses and settlements along the roads arranged? So see students, houses are arranged in a line on both the sides of the roads. That means they are in the linear settlements. Which one? That is, they are in the linear form. Okay. Next one, in which settlements are the houses close together? What could be the reason behind this density? So see student, the houses in the, let me see the Sangra are close together. See the picture, Sangra place, the houses are very close to, see that Sangra. Okay. So that place, houses Sangra are close together. Next one, and you to give the reason. That means why? Because there are so proximity of rivers are there, and also we can say that easy access to transport routes like roads and railway. You know, roads and railway it is very helpful for us. It will help us to easy movement of passenger also as well as roads also. And that place also see the amenities like water pipeline, hospitals, post office are there, and that's why all these are the reasons are there. Okay. Next one, can you now classify the settlements on the basis of their pattern? So see students, see that see the picture that you can see that Dunda place. See the map here. That means Dunda, Sodakua, Pokhran, etc. have they scattered. That means scattered settlements. See that Pokhran. Okay, that place there was a scattered settlements. And see that picture, Rani Amba. You can see that. That means Rani Amba is a linear settlements. Okay, and Songra is a nucleated settlement. So this way you have to it means you have to classify the settlements on the basis of this pattern. After considering various settlements, we realize that people settle down in different geographical conditions and adopt, that means themselves, to the condition in the regions. Patterns of human settlements evolve in accordance with the natural conditions. In this lesson, we are going to study the major pattern of human settlements and the reason behind them. And see students, so in this what we are learning, that we are going to study the major pattern of human settlements and the reason behind them. Means what are the reasons are there. Okay. Geographical explanation. Using the resources from the surroundings, man constructed houses and started living in them. And see students, that means using the resource from the surrounding, man constructed houses and started living in them. In the modern era of science and technology, people have made a remarkable progress in the construction of shelters. That means in modern period, because of science and technology, what happens students? People have made a remarkable progress in the constructions of shelters. They have even built skyscrapers. And man is thinking of constructing colonies on other planets also. That means not only in our planet, that means Earth planet, but also man is thinking of constructing colonies on other planet too. And their satellites too in future, and also their satellites too in future. Okay students, so provided man with stability. See students, Settlement have provided man with stability. Rural settlements is the first step towards the stable life in human history. Urban settlements have evolved through the expansion and growth of rural settlements. And that means, students, urban settlements have evolved through the expansion and growth of rural settlements. A certain way of life is preserved in rural settlements. Increase in the population of rural settlements is the beginning of urbanization. Life in urban settlements is more dynamic. Why, students? There are large-scale economic correlations between rural and urban settlements. The day-to-day food requirement of the urban population is fulfilled by rural settlements only. That means day-to-day food requirement of the urban population is fulfilled with the help of the rural settlements. Modernization, science and technology leads to transformation in both types of settlements. That means, students, modernization, science and technology leads to transformation in both types of settlement. That means rural and urban settlements. Okay. About it totally cancel. I have marked with pencil. No need to read this. The types of settlements and the characteristics, that means features of their distribution, can be described as follow. First one is scattered settlements. See, students, in scattered settlement, houses are few and far from each other. That means very far from each other. Generally, such settlements are found in the areas of high relief, dense forest, grasslands, hot desert and extensive agricultural land. See figure 10.5, it is a scattered settlement. See that houses are few and far from each other. Can you see the picture? And where it is found, student? That means in the area of high relief, dense forest, grassland, hot deserts and extensive agricultural land. Characteristics, that means features of scattered settlements. Distance between scattered settlements can be clearly seen. Yes, students. So distance between the scattered settlements we can see clearly. These settlements have limited population. That means less population, limited. As in small hamlets, that is Pada, Wadi, etc. Facilities and service in these settlements are not adequate, as these settlements are closer to nature. They are free from pollution. That means, see students, facilities are not very large scale in this place. So facilities and services in these settlements are not adequate, as these settlements are closer to the nature and they are free from pollution. They depends on the centrally located village for their day-to-day requirement, and that means they depend on the centrally located village for what purpose? For their day-to-day requirement purpose. Okay. Next one is nucleated settlements. These settlements are generally close to water source like brook, rivulets, rivers, lakes, reservoir, etc. And see students, that means nucleated settlements are generally close to the water source like brook, rivulets, rivers, lakes, reservoir, etc. In the desert of Rajasthan, we find nucleated settlements near assured source of water, fertile plain, transport hubs and mining centers. Commercial centers often lead to the development of these types of settlements. Beside this reason, defense, health, education and other social and religious factors can also give rise to nucleated settlements. Let me student where we find this. That means in the desert of Rajasthan. We can find such settlement, that means nucleated settlements near desert source of water, fertile plains, transport hubs and mining centers. Commercial centers often leads to the development of these types of settlements. And also beside these reasons, defense, health, education and other social and religious factors also there, which will give rise to nucleated settlements. Okay. Figure 10.6, nucleated settlements. See the picture, students. Characteristics, that means features. First point, in this settlement, that means in this nucleated settlements, houses are close together. See that houses are close together. Second point, social services are available in these settlements. So in this place, social services are available. Next, as the settlements develop in certain place over certain periods of time, they attain particular shapes. That means, if this settlement develop in certain place over certain periods of time, what happen that they attain particular shapes. Roads are narrow in the old part of these settlements. See, roads are narrow, and in the old part of these settlements. Next one, people from different castes, religion, race and ideologies live together in these settlements, and hence they have a better social life. That means people are living together, they are not make any caste discriminations, and people from different castes, religion, races and ideologies live together in these settlements, and hence they have a better social life. Okay, next one is linear settlements. See students, linear means what? See that picture, line wise. Linear settlements are seen along roads, railway, river, sea coast and in foothills region, etc. Where we can see this students, that means linear settlements are seen along roads, railway, river, sea coast and in foothills region, etc. These types of settlements are narrow in shape and they spread along a straight line. And see students, see the picture, can you see that picture, figure 10.7, linear settlements. So these type of settlements are narrow in shape and they spread along a straight line. Characteristics, that means features, houses in these settlements are along a single line. And see students, houses in these settlements are along a single line. As the settlements grow in the course of time, multiple lines emerge. See the picture, so multiple lines will be emerge. When, that means what is the main important features are the students, houses in the settlements are along a single line. Okay, but as the settlements grow in the course of time, then multiple lines also emerge. See the multiple line. Okay, roads are parallel to each other, and roads are parallel to each other. Beside houses, some shops can be seen too, and also not only houses, shops also you can see that place. These settlements grow along with the roads. For example, such settlements are found along the coastal tract, major rivers and national or state highway in our country. And see students, these types of settlements grow along with the roads. For example, such settlements are found along the coastal tract, major rivers and national or state highway in our country. Okay, always remembers factors influencing the location of human settlements. See what other factors are there. First one physical, next one is culture, and third one is economical. See students, physical, physiography, lands, soil, climate, water supply, river bank. In cultural, defense, health, education, tourism, historical significance. And economic, irrigation, occupations, transport and communications, industries, trade, government office. So all these other factors influence the location of human settlements. That, okay, can you see that? Physical, cultural and economic. Yes, so all these are the factors which are influence the location of the human settlements. Give it a try. See students, it is totally activity based. Observe the photograph given below. Identify the types of settlements shown here and write about them. See students, there are total figure 1, first, second, third and fourth. That means in figure 1 is urban settlements. Houses, schools, shops are close to each other. See that schools are there, Amazon shops are there. Okay, and there, this place there was a population, densely population will be there. And in figure 2 is a linear settlement. Houses are built along the Mera Shakar Kevda roads in 3 to 4 rows are there. Understood students? That means in figure 2 is a linear settlements. In figure 3, see that is a scattered settlements. Why students? Because houses are far from each other. Sparse population means scanty, limited populations are there, and very little transport. That means transport routes are there but very little. And fourth, on figure 4, see that linear settlements can be seen along the roads, whereas scattered settlement also you can see that. So it is totally activity based students. Exercise question number 1, answer in shorts. Question number 2, identify the types of human settlements from the following statements. See students, all these are the assignment I am giving to you as your homework. You have to do this in your notebook and read this lesson twice, 2 times properly. I hope that you understood this lesson. Thank you.